We off in this place, catching vibes, sit back and we blaze in the sky like I'm out of space.
What's going on, Cigar World? What's going on, Cigar Enthusiasts? This is Jack, the Cigar Enthusiast, and I'm back with another segment of the Virtual Smoke Deck. Man, how's everybody doing on this terrific Sunday? I hope you are blessed and highly favored, man. I'm your host, Jack, the Cigar Enthusiast, coming to you for the next hour. If you're new to the channel on YouTube, man, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, give us a huge thumbs up. If you're watching from Facebook, man, don't be the only one that had this amazing content at your fingertips. Go ahead and press that share button, press that like button, press the follow. Man, create a watch party, man. Just get the word out there because we're about to have a amazing segment tonight, man. I'm excited about tonight. I think tonight is going to be a great one, man. You know, you don't see too many times people having other retail partners on the shows, and you know, I think it's going to be a great show, man. I think we're going to dive into some topics that, you know, for anybody that's thinking about a cigar lounge or somebody that is, you know, been wanting to know what it feels like to be in our shoes, man. This is going to be a great conversation, man. Also, if you're new, man, go ahead and blast and blow up that comment box, man. Put a what's up, a hey, a how you doing, or something. Let us know that you're out there watching, and we'd love to display you on the screen. Andrew, what's up, man? Hey, Andrew, I haven't been able to tell you in person, you know, and this is partly my fault. I be so busy that I don't get into the fireside chat like I'm supposed to anymore. And but anyway, man, I am happy to see that you're retiring from the Navy, bro. And you started your career in the retail business at Davidoff. So if you're in Davidoff, I want to say it's in Pennsylvania. Man, go see the newest tobacconist, Andrew, over there, man. He's doing great things, man. I'm proud of him. He's also a Navy vet. So shout out to him. Man, go ahead and hit them comment boxes, man. We're going to get this show started here very briefly. Couple things that I want to remind you guys about on the front end, and we'll do a reminder on the back end, man. We had mimosas and stogies Sundays today, man. It was a great event. We had bottomless mimosas from 4 to $12, and it's true bottomless. So it was whatever you can drink, whatever you can handle. That's what you got. So man, make sure y'all check us out. Y'all following us so y'all can have all that information for those. Those happen once a month. Our next event that we got coming up is Labor Day weekend, September 3rd. We have Fedora and Bow Ties Night, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. And if you're following us, then you already know that we have put out some teasers on some fedoras that we're going to have here at the lounge for purchase at any given time. So obviously, if we run out, then we got to get more in. But man, we're looking to keep that stuff well stocked and well oiled. Actually, I was wrong. It's in Maryland. Damn, 12 stores? Which one you at? Tell us which one you at. I didn't know he had 12 stores. That's damn. We're trying to get there. I tell you that much. But yeah. So stogies. Fedora and bow ties coming up, and then September is Ashton month. So for the whole entire month, we'll be running a 20% discount on all Ashton boxes, and you'll be able to get raffle tickets and to win humidors and other prizes going on. That's going to be a great event. And then a couple weeks ago, we had our training, cigar training by Altadis. Amazing turnout. Well, guess what? We're doing that again in September with Ashton. So you'll have Jose Ortega doing the class for that, and then I'll obviously be in to pop in and, you know, say what's up and all that stuff. So if you're looking for that, man, this week, I'm going to be posting the Eventbrite so you can go ahead and get your ticket. I don't know the price on it right now. I don't want to put my foot in the mouth and go upside down, but I will be having getting a price out there, and it'll be an advantageous price, man. Man, what's up, Cy? All the way from Maryland, man. This guy is the Cigar for Rights warrior, ambassador, freaking president, man, everything in Maryland, man. This guy is really putting on, man. Cy, I love everything you're doing, man. as much as we possibly can. Actually, make sure you add your group on here so I can have people make sure they join that group as well. Yeah, so anyway, man, we're gonna get this thing started, man. Tonight's guest we have coming from Hartford, Connecticut, man. A great guy. Met him at PCA, and I think it was just, one thing about cigars, man, I'm telling you, it brings people from all backgrounds, from all places together. And when you're willing to simply have a simple conversation, man, you'd be surprised what you can learn, man. So we actually locked in. Santa Claus is in the building, y'all. So go ahead and put in your Christmas list, because Christmas is around the corner and we got Santa Claus in. But Grey Wolf, I must tell you, I think our guest is gonna give you a run for your money. But we'll let that marinate here in a little bit. But yeah, man. So Pete's a great guy, man. Cigar lounge called Night Cigar Lounge out of Hartford, Connecticut, man. Introduce our guest of the hour, Pete. There we go. What's
hey,
up,
how you
champ?
Doing? How's it going, man?
Man, that introduction, you gonna come in. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, man, that's about as excited as I get. You should know that by now.
What's going on, champ?
Not much, man. Just trying to get through another week.
Yeah, man. I think we all operate week by week. Some operate, month by month or year by year. And I think it's best to always take it day by day or week by week. It's whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, every day's a new adventure. So trying to keep it going.
Look, Lewis said your beard is awesome, and this is why I was saying, Ron is like known for doing, like, he's like the Santa Claus for like all company events and stuff. But man, I think y'all gonna have to go toe to toe for that, man.
I'm to go more Rick Rubin, so I'm not really sure about Santa gives a lot of stuff away. Rick Rubin's got a lot of money. I like that idea better. A little bit more dynamic.
Man, for sure. Well, Pete, man, we appreciate you coming onto the show, brother, and fellowshipping with us today.
Yeah.
I know you're a busy man, so being able to get your hour, about to have like a retailers panel, man. I think that is going to be amazing, and really kind of eye-opening, especially with the fact that we have a lot of consumers that watch our show. And who knows, Michael Herlocks is definitely probably going to make a grand entrance sometime during this segment. I will.
Yeah, great guy.
Be surprised if he doesn't. So, but man, Pete, for people that don't know you, man, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
That's a tough one. We got a lounge up here in West Hartford, Connecticut called Night Cigar Lounge. Specialize in small batch and boutique cigars. We don't really do any of the big branded stuff. We're a little bit more specialized in what we do. And that's about it. We have a nice lounge. Unfortunately, up here in Connecticut, we're not allowed to serve drinks, but bring it on in.
Yeah.
We're not as progressive as some of you guys.
Hey, look. Yeah. Shoot, in order to be progressive out here, you got to spend an arm and a leg to get it. So
yeah, we just open up a door, throw some paint on the walls, and make it look nice.
Hey, so you've been in the game for how long now?
So the store has only been here for 2 years. I've worked at some other places, and I've smoked cigars for 26 years. I spent most of my time in the last 20-something years in cigar lounges.
Yeah.
So meeting a lot of great people and just experiencing the lifestyle. So it's what I've been doing. I don't really know much else.
Yeah. It's one thing about our business is like when you understand the passion behind it, you succeed very well.
Yeah.
But when you don't, when you start trying to figure out the money aspect of it, I think it's one of those things where things start to kind of go left for you. So we're going to go into that here in a little bit. But again, 26 years in a cigar lounge, working in some type of capacity, maybe not owner, tobacconist, man, that gives great character on who you are and what you're doing. So, Lewis has a question for you. Behemoth?
I don't even know what that is.
Me either.
You got to help me out on that one.
Yeah, so pop that in the comment box, man, so we know exactly what it is.
Because I'm just getting badass mother.
I know there's something like.
We have a lot of badass motherfucking cigars, but I don't know if that's what he's asking about.
So what you smoking right now, champ?
The new Supreme Leaf Torpedo.
Oh, so you got that?
I guess you didn't get that yet.
Don't worry.
No. So here's the thing. They usually send it to me like 2 weeks after everybody else, and I sit here and I'm like screaming at people, going like every time. I'm like, I get this 2 weeks after every other store. So I'm actually happy I got it early this time.
I'm about to send Jeff a message right now and be like, what the fuck? Like,
Just
why?
Go right to Terrence.
Literally.
Right to Terrence and tell him that I told you to send them out because they're damn good.
Man,
damn
look,
good.
and I ordered like a couple boxes while I was there, like 6 or 7 of them.
But
anyway,
you messed up. You should have won for the full amount, man. They're good.
Well,
People are gonna love them.
Whatever I was able to get, I got. So
okay,
yeah,
cool.
I don't know how many it was. But yeah. Anyway, I heard the cigar is amazing. The Corona that they had was amazing. How did it change during the? Did it change within the bigger ring gauge of it?
Well, they've done this ring gauge before. It's the first time they've done a torpedo. I think it's a 54 ring gauge, which they did with the Toro, and I think the Robusto was a 54 also.
Yeah.
The torpedo, I think, gives a little bit more of a kick, a little stronger than some of the other ones. And Aganorsa doesn't really make a strong cigar. They're focused on the flavor, but this one definitely kicks it up to a medium plus, I would say. Then again, I smoke a lot of strong cigars, so this might be really strong for some people.
Man, I think I've been noticing that. I know we carry quite a few of their stuff, and the Guardian of the Watch, the
Night Watch Guardian of the Farm.
Yes, that one got a little kick to it too.
Yeah, that's one of their.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's one of their stronger cigars. We do big with those. People really like those.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I gotta light up another cigar, so I'm just trying to do two things at once.
I'm about to light up too. So
I don't know if I have my lighter with me, but I do. Okay, I'm good.
Hey, look, I did a segment one time where I couldn't figure out no type of lighter situation. Everyone I grabbed, everyone didn't work. It got to a point where the people was watching was like, Jack, just stop. Go get a lighter. That's more important. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's true. And I think it was right before I opened too. So that was even the worst part. Was I literally couldn't text nobody or call anybody and to ask them to come get it for me. It says made at I want to say Rockefeller Cigar Factory. That's what it stands for.
I don't know. It's a new one to me, so I'll look into it. So we do things a little differently here. I go through every single cigar we carry.
Yeah.
So it's not like, it's a small batch cigar. It's a boutique cigar. They only make this many amount of them. That doesn't matter. I smoke everything, and it has to pass, a lot of things. I don't, it has to be a good quality cigar and good things like that. But I'm always interested in finding new things, especially things I've never even heard of. That's always fun.
Yeah, man. Actually, sticking to that same conversation, man. Oftentimes we always get the consumer that comes in and says, "Hey, do you have this cigar?" And for me, I would love to hear how you handle those, especially being from the boutique side and specializing in the boutique. How is that? How does that formulate in your business, your particular boutique?
I mean, a lot of times people come in here, and even avid smokers, they don't know what we have.
Right.
For me, I got to kind of think back to what it was like when I didn't know what they were either. But people come in here and they've never heard of a craft, which
that's a hard one.
To me is just weird. But I get it. They look at a lot of things online and read the magazines, and these brands aren't talked about too much because they don't have the advertising budget.
Yeah.
So what we have to do is basically it took some time to build up a reputation. people come in and now they're pretty much, take my word for it,
Yeah.
which is nice. But newbies that don't know anything about what we do, who we are, and they're used to smoking the bigger branded stuff. We just got to try and find them something that works. And I used to smoke those, so I'm sort of familiar with it. But I mean, honestly, I haven't smoked like a Rocky Patel in probably 10 years. So when somebody comes in and asks for that, now I got to think back to what it was like, and try and find them something that's going to work for them. But I think we get a lot of people that come in and we don't have what they're looking for. That's pretty standard, and they try the stuff that we have. And most people come back, but it's a process. It's a process with them. Sorry, we don't. You go into a lot of stores and customer walks in and you get a cigar store owner. He's sitting behind the desk or behind the counter, and they point to the humidor or they point to the counter, whatever they have, and they leave it all up to the customer. And if we want it to survive, we can't do that.
No.
So we go into the humidor with every customer, talk to them about the cigars, and try and educate them as much as we can to what they'll find out what they're looking for and what type of cigar is going to work best for them, and teach them about the boutique brands. I also like brands that have some type of story to them, not just, we put out a cigar. There's a lot, you got to find out like the history of the company and why they are what they are. And I think people get excited about it. They give it a try. Sometimes they like it and they come back. Sometimes they don't like it and they come back and try something else.
Yeah.
So that's the way we approach the boutique side of it.
And I think working the humidor is something that is not often seen. Like you said,
No.
You have so many people that come in and just be like, yeah, the humidor is right there. And, that I think that is kind of one of the worst habits that you can form, or if you even got staff and your staff is not able to go inside the humidor and, talk cigars, because you got so many cigars out there, especially when you're dealing with boutique brands, or even when you're dealing with brands that's been out there for so long. People usually find that one cigar and they stick to that one cigar and they never branch out. And I say, how can you ever branch out if you never develop your palate to try different things? So if you're not developing your palate to try different things, but yet, every single time you come in and have this particular cigar, then you're like, bam. But then you get somebody that works the humidor, have no clue what they're talking about. And you try a cigar that was not in their palate range, and all of a sudden now they're completely turned off. So, I think hands down, that's one of the most important aspects about running a cigar lounge. It's like you have to help, people find that cigar.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been in so many places where it's pretty much it's help yourself, and you just walk around and just blindly pick up things, and if you don't know, or the only thing is, what you've seen in a magazine, and they have a nice ad, and maybe you'll get lucky and pick up a good cigar, but most likely you're going to be disappointed, and you're going to walk out, and you're not going to go to that cigar store again, or you're not just going to pick up anything. The cigars aren't for me. I mean, I don't know many people who smoked a cigar the first time. I'm like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
I mean, my first cigar that I ever smoked was a Macanudo. Mild as can be. First time I ever smoked anything.
Yeah.
I felt sick as can be. And the only reason I ever smoked the second cigar was because I already bought it. So if I would have just bought the one cigar, it would have been done for me.
Yeah.
And, I think education, whether people have been smoking for a long time, there's still a lot to learn about this. There's still stuff I'm learning about this, and getting more into, the tobacco itself and different, parts of the plant and all that stuff. And I still don't know it, but I'm learning it bit by bit.
And I think that is key. Like, Lewis mentioned, staff needs training, and, being able to train your staff, and then other side of knowing what exactly training yourself, because I mean, at the end of the day, you do have cigar owners, lounge owners that don't really know cigars. I mean, it's like it does not make sense to me. You don't work a corporate job and not know your job. But in cigars, it's like, okay, it sells itself. So eventually that's what the staff is doing. It just go in there and it sell itself.
Well, I think there's so many people who open up places and they do it because they like cigars. And they think it'd be cool to have a place because they like cigars. It's the same reason people open up bars.
Yeah.
Oh, I like to hang out at bars. I'm going to open up a bar. I like cigars. I'm going to open up a cigar store. So there's a lot of places that just, aren't run right or just done right. Luckily, I've been to a lot of great places too. So it's not like, that everything is bad, because it's not. There's a lot of store owners that a lot of places I've been to where the owners are great and they know their business and they're in it for the right reason, not because they,
we can't hear you. So while Pete figures out his oh, you're muted. Unmute your mic. Nope, it's still muted. So while Pete figures out his
am I back?
Yeah, now
there we go. Hey, I don't know what happened there.
The freaking nature things. That's what
technology,
happens on
technology at its finest.
It happens on podcasts.
Yeah.
But for me, we are the only one. I would, for the most part, we are one of the only cigar lounges that actually go in to educate. Like, it's so many practices that you could pick up that'll help your business. But then you have so many other practices that you pick up, and it does not help your business. And I am like, oh my people, hey, look, when people walk in that humidor, you walk in there too. And if you can't walk in and educate them on a cigar, then that is a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a retail business, and it's it has to run like any other retail store. My background has always been retail. Before I was covered in tattoos and had a really big beard, I used to work at Nordstrom. And honestly, there's probably no better place to learn how to be a retailer than to work there. And a lot of their practices that they do, I took and brought it into a cigar store and a cigar lounge, and about catering to the customer and educating the customer. That's what it's about. And that's where a lot of people fail, is they have no retail background.
Yeah.
And they think it's, field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. And they do, but they usually don't stay. And that's where the fault lies.
That's good. That's good. Because I literally just heard that. We got a pizza spot coming next door, and they don't have a tenant or anything, but the landlord is a Persian guy, and he's like, hey, you build it, they come. I'm like,
yeah.
That's not true. You still got to get somebody to run it. You still got to get somebody to make the pizza. So yeah, it does not work like that. Pete, kind of caveating into another part of our show. So many times people have their personal beefs with PCA, right? I know we were both at PCA, and I think we had some great conversations about what PCA does for our business and all that. From a retailer standpoint, in the Northeast, how is PCA for you guys? Because there are some lounges that's out there having trouble, with the different laws and stuff like that. So how do you feel from your perspective about PCA?
I think they're the best of what we have, which we don't have much. I mean, they're pretty much the only thing we have. Are they perfect? No. Are they doing, I think, the best that they possibly can? Yeah, I do. I think that, I think what happens is, I think what they do well is when things go into the court system that they try and fight, I think they do really well there. And that's the thing that people don't understand. I don't think they're ever going to be able to stop a law or a proposed law from coming in, because it's cigars, it's tobacco.
Yeah.
Okay. No politician is going to bend. They're going to enact this because that's their thing, because it looks like a good thing. And so no one's going to object to it. But the PCA then does a good job of following lawsuits, taking it to the courts, and I think they excel well there. All in all, I'm happy with them. I think I've never really reached out to them for much. We do have something going on here in Connecticut where it looks, yeah, that one right there. And my answer to that one is I don't know the answer to that question there about October 1st. And I did reach out to the PCA on that one, and what they told me was, according to their lawyers who have read the complete bill, and they've reached out to politicians in Connecticut, and they said we're all fine. That's what I have to go with, and if on October 1st everything is wrong and it's different, and loungers have to shut down and we're not going to be able to go out of business as usual, then I have to count on the PCA then to pick up that fight and do it. As of right now, they say we're good to go, that it doesn't really affect us. It had to do with marijuana. I think the law was done they don't want to have, marijuana lounges. Yeah. And I get that. And I think that's really what it was meant to prevent. When you laws, I think a lot of times when they're drafted, they're very vague and they're very large, and nobody really understands what's in it. Then once the law is enacted, you see the ramifications of it and you fix it. I'm not really worried. I talked to some other owners. None of us are too concerned about the October 1st date, but we're going to see. I mean, and again, if you ask me on October 2nd what I think of the PCA, I might have a different opinion. But as of right now, I just got to go with they know a little bit about this than I do. I think the law is 365 pages. I ain't reading that. I'm not going to understand all the legalese and things in it. So, we pay dues, so they do that for us, and hope that it works out.
I tell Ron is on the opposing end of PCA, but I think Ron knows it from other retailer standpoint that maybe have something negative to say. And Ron, don't take this the wrong way at all. But I actually asked that question for you because I think it's best to hear, true business owners, raw cut feelings on, how we feel about it. I won't. Not everybody is okay with what goes on and what happens, but at the end of the day, a great majority feel that there's good. And even for me, if something bad happens in Jacksonville or Florida, which I think it's probably not going to happen here in Florida, but if it was, I think we have enough people that can band together and go storm Tallahassee to make this, this thing go away. And I think that's another thing. We have Swisher Sweets is in Jacksonville. So they just had a fight with the FDA that they won, or at least got some more leeway on and more time to, develop. I don't know how, all the legality stuff to it, but again, that goes to show. I don't know if they went through PCA. I know, that whole stuff is kind of sticky, treacherous water. But like I said, I'm pretty sure they reached out to some of their lobbyists to assist in that. But yeah.
I think I hear people bash the PCA all the time, and I don't think I've ever heard of a reason why. They're not going to win every single fight. No lobbyist group wins every single fight. So yeah, I don't really know what they. As a store owner, I don't have much involvement with them. I think they throw a nice event out there in Vegas for us that we get to go to, and this is the first time that I've ever actually had to have any dealing with them, and we're going to see how it turns out. But there are certain things that they're just never going to win. Mm-hmm. And I remember the last time, I guess it was 2019 because we didn't have anything in 2020. So in 2019, I was talking to somebody, I just ran into somebody who was a lobbyist for the PCA, and we were talking about the raising the age to 21 for smoking. And it just baffled me that they were even fighting that. Like, why would you fight that? I don't think any cigar store is lost sales because they're missing out on that 18, 19, and 20-year-old age group.
Yeah.
And you wasted money on that, and there's no way in hell you're ever going to win that fight. So I don't think they're going to be perfect, and that's all I have to really say about it. I don't have much about it.
I think everything, I think Glenn, I think Josh is doing an amazing job, and their team over there to try to help us, especially, some of the panel interviews we were able to sit in. And I am 19. I just barely turned 19 too. But I think some of those panel interviews that we were able to hear kind of just showed us a different light about what is going on and what they're willing to do and different things of that nature. Going sticking kind of onto this road for that matter. How was PCA for you? Looking at it from a retailer standpoint, that was my first one, so I have nothing to judge based on. But I feel like we were actually able to meet. I mean, I know you. Yeah. I mean, we were at the bar a lot, but I mean,
yeah.
At that point, that was like the place to meet and mingle with folks. Is at a bar. We have a whole freaking hotel, the Venetian at that, smoked out with cigar smoke. How was the actual show for you?
It was great. I mean, I think they did a great job with it. It was much smaller than previous years, whether that was by design or it just turned out that way. It was good. There weren't a lot of even attendees. That seemed to me to be a lot less. But from what I gather, the people that were there to do business. So from what I've heard from the vendors is that it was a great show for them.
Yeah.
And that's really good. I mean, on a personal level, I had a great time. I wish it wasn't so damn hot there when we were there, but hey, I would have liked to have spent a little more time outside. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I had a great time. The bar atmosphere after the show was great, where you really got to just hang out with people, and it was easier to talk to the people that you wanted to and meet the people that you wanted to. It's good that every once in a while vendors get to meet with the retailers, find out what's working for us and what we need from them, because I think a lot of times they don't know. They can't know. They can't go to hundreds of stores and see what's working and what's not working. And just because something works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So they need to figure out the balance, and I don't know if that's always possible. So I had a great time. I mean, gambled too much, drank too much, didn't get enough sleep, but other than that, man, it was fun.
So speaking on the retail side, you were open during COVID. Obviously, we all know that COVID was pretty much great for cigar lounges and retailers that was able to figure out how to keep their doors open and continue to sell cigars. What did COVID, that whole year of COVID, and even now, teach you about your business and how to make it better?
Well, I mean, for us, it was a real challenge at first. We were only open for 6 months when COVID hit. So for us, we were getting excited that the summer was coming and we were going to have our big rush and, really, start developing this business. And then all of a sudden, COVID hit, and I think it was March 20th or March 21st that everything was supposed to shut down here, businesses and all that stuff. So we didn't know what to do. I never had any intention of shutting down. That wasn't going to happen. If we would have shut down, then it would have been a permanent shutdown. So that wasn't even in the cards. But originally, I planned to just sell what we had, buy what we needed to, but not do anything extra. And that lasted about 3 days because I got a call from Roma Craft. Really, it was just a call just to see what our plans were and what we were doing. And then they happened to mention that they had some limited stuff that we wouldn't have been able to get, but people started canceling orders. So we brought it in, and then stuff just started flying out. So quickly, I started calling up other vendors that we had, and was like, "What do you have?" what do you have that I can't normally get? What do you have that's, you know, limited and things like that? We just started bringing all of that in, and it really helped us. It really helped us develop through Instagram. We started shipping a lot of stuff out because it was all stuff that, you know, people couldn't get in their local store, because they either shut down or they just went into basically hibernation mode.
Yeah.
So we're still, you know, dealing with the COVID thing. Things aren't back to, actually, I don't even know what normal is because we never had a chance to be normal. Uh, we were, you know, we keep, you know, business keeps getting better and better, but you know, there are times that I wonder would it have been better if COVID never existed.
Exactly.
You know, so for us, it's kind of a weird situation. I look at, you know, other stores that are around here that have been in business for a while, and some of them got destroyed because of COVID, because of where they were located. Others have just maintained, and I think because we're newest, we're growing, and COVID for us was actually beneficial, which I really feel shitty saying, but it was.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And that's another thing for us. Like we don't know what normal is. So like
Right.
people say, well, how's business? Well, from my perspective, business is great. But what is great? You know, like
Mm-hmm.
what was business before? I can only speculate what it was in 2019 and 2018. But I
Right.
don't personally think that it was as great in 2018, 2019. And the reason I say that is because we had a more of an influx of people that was curious in 2020. People are
Yeah.
looking for, you know, their hobbies to get out the house that can still keep them in the house and still enjoy some me time. And I think a lot of people resorted to the cigar smoking.
Yeah. I think that was the benefit. Um, you know, for us was that we definitely saw a lot of people that said, "Oh, you know, I really don't smoke cigars, or I haven't smoked cigars, or used to smoke cigars, but now I have all this free time." So
Yeah.
they started smoking again, and they started smoking more. Um, yeah, so that was again one of the benefits. But I don't know if I probably would have liked to see what would have happened without COVID.
Yeah.
You know, let's see where we would have been if it would have been the same. But
You know, everybody is looking at our industry and, you know, saying, we talked about this earlier, and Lewis made the comment as well. For some, it's a business. To others, it's a passion. I think for us too, it's more of a passion. But I feel like a lot of people see our business now as um, a way to make $1 million, with this thought fathoming that my first year I'm going to be great, or my second year I'm going to be great, or my third year I'm going to be great because I'm great. What's your thoughts on, you know, starting a cigar lounge and some of the things you know you need to have, you know, from experience to be successful in this industry?
um, to be successful, I think you need one of two things. You either have to have a lot of money where you could just buy a whole bunch of product and be able to, you know, just always have it, or you just actually have to know the business and be passionate about it, which is going to take a little bit longer. Um, it's not the easy way to do it. You know, I think, you know, I think we would, in my instance, yeah, we'd probably a little bit more successful if I carried Rocky Patel out, Bradley, Monte Cristo, Romeo and Juliet, you know, because there's no work involved.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just wouldn't do that. You know, I know people like those cigars and they smoke them, you know, and that's fine. But we're catering to a different group of people um, that are looking for something a little bit different, a little bit more uh, tailored to their taste or whatever it may be. And so for us, it's going to take a little bit longer because we have to basically change people's ideas of what they should be smoking
Yeah.
or why they should be smoking different things. So, you know, if you're looking for a quick buck, I don't know. For me, that ain't gonna happen. Maybe for some other people that will, if you're just able to open up a beautiful store, nice lounge, and you know have all the products that basically sell themselves.
Yeah.
But you know, for us, we're looking at a long term thing. We're not looking to cash out anytime soon. So you know, we're looking to develop a business and create a little bit more of a movement here towards these boutique cigars and getting them more mainstream. And then at that point, once they become mainstream, I'm probably not going to want to carry them anymore anyway.
Yeah.
We're going to create these brands and then we're just going to dump them and find somebody else. But for us, it's a long-term thing. It's not about making money quick. And I don't think for us that's even a possibility because it's too much going on with educating people to the brands that we carry. It's not an easy thing.
And that
too much work.
Absolutely. And people always want to know what it takes to start. And I remember when I first opened, the one to show, one to go mentality was not a thing, right? One, I didn't have the capitalization to have one to show, one to go, because obviously as well as I know, and for people that don't know, cigar inventory is one that you have to have. It's like a clothing store. You can't have one shirt on the shelf and think you're gonna sell 7 shirts, or think you're gonna have 10 shirts and after those 10 I'll be able to buy 20. It just doesn't work like that. So a lot of money goes, the money that you make continues to go in, and it continues to buy more inventory. Now I carry 3 to 4 boxes of everything that I have on my shelf, but it wasn't easy. And at the end of the day too, it cost a lot of freaking money. I'm talking almost $300,000 worth of money. So when you're looking at those things and trying to figure out, well, how does this work? Just know that you have to have the skin in the game, and you won't sell boxes if you don't have boxes to sell.
Right. And you also, that's a good point, because when we first opened up, we just had too much. There's too much variety. So because all these brands were pretty much new to most, I'd say 99% of the people that came through the door, they never locked onto a brand. So they would buy one from here and one from there and one from here and one from there and one from here. And so money was coming in, which was nice, but it had to go out in too many different directions. So what we did, and we just started doing this recently at the start of the year, was we kind of cut down on what we carry brand-wise, but expanded in that one brand. So now instead of having only like 2 or 3 boxes of Agnorsa, we pretty much have everything.
Yeah.
And that has led to people developing a taste for that brand. And now, because we do that, ordering is a lot easier. So, cash flow is a lot better. And now you're seeing boxes moving, where before it was just 1 stick at a time. It could have been, 5 sticks, but it was different brands all over the place. So, that was a mistake that I made early on, was always, because, it was always boutique and it was always things that people never heard of, so which was great, but they would always come in wondering what was new.
Yeah.
And trying to find something new every week was, 1, expensive, and two, just impossible. It was like, how do you find the cigar that's good every single week that you want to bring in and no one's heard of it? And, so once now that we settle down and things are a little bit more streamlined, it's a little bit easier to do. People are finding the brands that they like and, sticking to it, still trying other things, because that's important. We're still bringing in, new products all the time, but, in a little bit more of a controlled fashion. So it's, 2 years in, we're still learning. I'm still going to make a lot of mistakes here and we're going to figure it out. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to do. It's a lot of time. And, just liking cigars. I like cigars. Let's open up a shop, or even having a passion for it doesn't make it easy. It's just, it's still a lot of work.
Yeah. And I think that was some great advice right there, man, because like you said, when you open, when you first open, you never know what people are going to want to smoke. So a lot of it is judgment calls based on your palate, but the other part of it is figuring out what, like you said, what's the story behind it, and can I push the story?
Yeah.
And understanding the story, I think, is the 95% of the success of that brand. You know,
Mhm.
knowing you speak up Aganorsa, knowing that Aganorsa used to be Casa Fernandez, it showed a lot of cheaper cigars, and they didn't even sell a lot of it. Like the whole branding aspect, you used to get confused with AJ all the time.
Yep.
And you know, them making the brand change to say we're going to change it to Aganorsa Leaf, and this is what we're going to, you know, to promote. Is good. And having those brands, I tell people all the time, man, people come in here, well, do you have this? Well, unfortunately, I don't, but I have this, and I have an abundance of this, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I think you also have to take you have to take time to let things develop. When we first started carrying Black Label Trading Company, it just sat. Nobody wanted to touch it, and you know, we stuck with it because I really like the brand. I mean, I
yeah,
smoke a lot of them, and you
Killer
know,
Blee is amazing.
it's finally taken off. Then we brought in Espinosa, and it didn't move. But you know, you stuck with it, and you get people now. So that's one of the bigger brands that we carry. Yeah, so you got to really develop, really need to develop the brand. Um, but that comes from the knowledge of what it is and being selective in what you carry. You know, that's what you really have to be selective in what you carry.
Yeah,
If you're just gonna bring in every brand, but you don't smoke that, it ain't gonna work out that
no,
well.
and you know, and that's what a lot of Lewis talked about that one cigar. I don't even know what it's called. I'm looking for
That was a BAMF.
yeah. So you
Yeah, I'm
have so
interested in
many.
that, man. As soon as I get off done with you, I'm looking that up.
So you have so many cigars, and you have so many people, and that's another thing, man. People don't understand how many executive decisions we have to make on the front end, you know, on bringing cigars in. Like, you know, you want to bring somebody in because you feel like it could be a great cigar, it has a great story, you can push it, but then you run into this thing called space, and when you don't have the
Yeah,
shelf space for it, it's like, man, I want to bring it in. Like I had the wrap from Casaneda cigars come in, the Casa Magnum, and a couple of great cigars. And I said, look, man, these are phenomenal cigars. I just don't have the space to bring them in. So what do I
yeah,
do? Do I go empty out one shelf and put that product in inventory and let it sit in my shelves, or you know, do a 40% discount on it to bring it in? It's like if I'm gonna do that in the beginning, I'm probably gonna be doing that the rest of my time, you know,
yeah,
on the
yeah,
cigar lounge. So
yeah. Space is limited. I'm gonna go off on one right now. I'm gonna trash the brand at first, but at the end, wait for it. It's gonna be a compliment in there somewhere. Um, it was the rep for Gurkha came in, and I'll tell you straight off the bat right now, we will never carry Gurkha. But yeah, that has to do with a lot of reasons. But anyway, really cool dude, and I like him, so that's why I tolerate him when he comes in.
yeah.
And he keeps talking about that now that Aganorsa makes a cigar for Gurkha. They make 3 cigars for Gurkha. He's like, I'll bring them in. You're gonna love them, and then you're gonna want to buy them. I said, okay, cool. Bring them in. He brings them in. They are honestly 3 of the best cigars I've had in a long time.
Uh-huh.
They are an amazing cigar. So he's like, oh, great. How many boxes do you want? I said, none. I got a wall of Aganorsa, and they say Aganorsa. This still says Gurkha.
Exactly.
We ain't carrying anything that says Gurkha on it. So, you know, they make a good cigar. I mean, Aganorsa made a really good cigar for them. But, you know, when space is limited and you got to worry about what are you taking off the shelf to put in this other brand that, again, people may not know about or they haven't smoked. So now you got to work to develop this brand where I'm taking a brand off the shelf that's already been developed. So, you know, it's tough. And people come in all the time. You should get this cigar. You should get this cigar. You should get this cigar. And we don't have that much room.
Yeah.
You know, I think I got like, I don't even know how big our humidor is, but we actually doubled it last July, and it's still not big enough. But
Yeah.
I can't, you know, we can't have, you know, it will never be big enough to have everything that everybody ever wanted.
Yeah.
You know,
And
so those are the decisions.
and I think that's a great. I mean, we don't carry Gurkha either, and I think
You shouldn't. Nobody should.
As you say, there's some reasons why we don't, and some reasons why we never will.
There's too many reasons why. I can't think of one good reason too, but
hey, look, you get so many
I
people.
apologize to people that smoke
Uh,
Gurkhas, but man,
yeah,
write me, tell me why you smoke those cigars.
and be honest,
know.
like why? Because like Lewis said, man, I am great at oh my God, you definitely don't believe that. You definitely don't believe that. This guy smokes nothing but Tatawahe. So for you to sit here and say
and that's a good brand. There you go.
That's a great brand.
I don't carry Tatuaje, but I'm a big fan of the brand. But again, Tatuaje is a perfect example of a cigar we can't carry because it's too big of a brand. There's too much going on there. So if I bring in this Tatuaje, and then 10 people are going to come in and ask for the one that I don't carry.
It's like
so they just have too much. Yeah, there's just too much going on with them. They're a great brand, really, really good cigars, but there's just too much of it. So we don't carry those, but I kind of wish I did at times. Because I like smoking them.
Literally. Yeah. But you get so many requests on a nonstop basis to bring in stuff, and you just be like, man, I'm not bringing that in, man. I have people going on this tangent for La Gloria Cubana, and I'm like, Series R, like that's what you come in here out of all this stuff I have. You're saying I'm looking for a La Gloria Series R? Like, come on, man. Let's show you something different, because I think right now, and I tell people all the time, anytime you come in asking for that I already know a couple things about you, and it's nothing bad. But I know you've been smoking cigars for a long time. I know you haven't tried anything else. And I know that at the end of the day, it's probably a price point that you fall in love with when dealing with that cigar. So let me show you something else that I think will complement your palate, that much better.
Yeah, I was and I remember Ulgura Cubana when they were just a small company out of Miami, and they were an excellent cigar. They were excellent, but then they got bought out and all that went kind of downhill. Yeah. They used to have a cigar. I still think they make it on under the. I don't even remember who owns them anymore. But they made a cigar that you were only able to get if you ordered it. If you called up the offices in Miami and ordered it from them, it was called El Rico Habano. Excellent cigar, powerhouse, especially for back in the 90s when people weren't making ass kicking cigars. It was a strong cigar and it was great, but then they get bought out and now you're dealing with that. Those big old companies that are just putting out the Bud Lights of cigars, and which I have a partner that's all he pretty much drinks is Bud Light, and he gets upset when I refer to cigars that way.
Yeah, bro, like it's serious though. It's like at some of these brands, and I'm not gonna sit here and bash nobody, because at the end of the day, there's a
let's do it.
There's a cigar for everybody, and everybody's palate is different.
There are cigars for everybody, but there's better cigars for those people too. They just don't know it.
They just don't know it. So when you're smoking these cigars, it's just I tell you the best advice I can give anybody that is stuck on some of these brands. It's like, man, ask the true tobacconist, what do they recommend? And when they recommend it, smoke it. And tell them what you like about it and what you don't like about it. And that way they can start gauging your palate and pushing you in directions where they think your palate will go. And I think hands down, that's probably one of the best things I have implemented. Like, let's figure out your palate first. Try this, X, Y, and Z.
Yep. Yeah. You just also need to find, though, again, the right tobacconist to deal with, because you could, if they're not into it or if they don't know, and I don't necessarily think that this is a thing, but I'm always smoking a cigar. If you walk into a shop and the guy ain't smoking, how the hell is he supposed to tell you what you're supposed to be doing? But I'm not saying that you should be smoking 24/7 like I do, but it gets expensive. But I mean, you go into a shop and the guy, you never see the guy smoking. that's a problem. Or, you know, if they just don't know anything, you know, be picky about where you're buying your cigars. It's not always about just the cheapest place. We definitely are not the cheapest place around. Uh, um, you know, find the place that suits you and is a little bit more involved in the business itself.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. And I think more than anything, it's like, you know, people have to take the time out to educate the people that is working in their establishments. Uh, you're well. Sometimes I don't. So shut
What?
up, bro. Sometimes I just don't have time. Like you be running around doing so freaking much that sometimes sitting down and enjoying a cigar is very hard for me. But that is bullshit because I smoke every cigar that's in this place. I may not do it in front of you, but I smoke every single cigar. So,
All right. Well, I'll let that slide. But you should always. I love when people say they're too busy to do something. The only person who has that excuse is the president. No matter who the president is or what you feel about him, he's the only person who could ever get away with the excuse of "I'm too busy."
yeah.
No, you're not too busy. The fate of the world is not in your hands. Sit down and smoke a fucking cigar. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
So always carve out time. So otherwise, what's you know, there are benefits to this business besides, you know, you might make a couple bucks and, you know, have a good time. Part of it is being able to sit down, hang out with some hopefully good people in your lounge, you know, argue and fight and make fun of each other and watch, you know, football and all this stuff and do it while having a good drink and a cigar. You know, that's one of the best things about owning a cigar store. You know, there's no other real reason to do it. I mean, you know, the money's nice, I guess, you know, if you're become successful and you do your job well, but it's
God. Don't listen to her.
What's this? Oh,
that's my wife.
Okay. Well, then I believe she probably is correct. I would probably agree with that, and you should probably listen to her. Just saying.
Huh?
I
Johnny.
don't know what. Hey,
what is that about, Johnny? Tell us all about it, cause we're here for the antics today. I'll tell you that much.
He might smoke Gurkhas. He might have got pissed that I bashed Gurkha.
Oh my God! Hey, look. Wait, like I said, there is some that will get it and some that won't. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, man, I think everything that you got going on out there, man, is amazing. I'm super proud of you. If nobody else tells you, continue to grow, continue to do what you need to do to make your lounge better. And like you said, man, I have learned so much from, you know, this segment with you today on, you know, everything from you know, taking my time, you know, and then also, you know, fathoming some things that I had already knew was a thing, and kind of put it in perspective to, oh my God, here Jason's about to stir up some shit. Add Roma craft to the Gurkha mess. You're crazy.
I don't know how you could do that. That's
crazy.
Those are two different worlds.
Hey, you're about to put a shit turd in your mouth, and we're gonna be asking you why here in a second. But man, so a couple things I want to talk about before we wrap up, man. Is what's the next move, man? Can we expect to see another nice cigar opening, you know, sometime soon?
I think that's always been the plan. I guess we're gonna have to wait till October 1st to see what happens. If that's even gonna be a possibility. Always wanted to do that. Where working with a couple different companies for store exclusive cigars. So that'll be nice. Maybe at some point, if I have the time to try and come up with something on my own, which I don't know if I'm that good. You know,
you're too busy.
See if we could develop. Yeah, I'm too busy. You know, no, I want to get down to Nicaragua and work with some people about doing that. But I think really right now, I mean, we're still 2 years into this. We're just trying to be. Let's get really, really good at what we're doing now and not try and do too much, and just develop what we have here. Continue to reach out, you know, expand here. And we'll see what happens. I mean, that's the best we could do right now. But
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely the one thing is I want to have another store, another location,
Yeah.
build this out, and go from there. Keep building up.
Tell everybody where they can, if they're ever in Hartford, Connecticut, or close to there, where they can come see you at.
We're at 268 Park Road, West Hartford, Connecticut. It's nice little town, not bad. A lot of things to do, good restaurants. So people are around. We got a great lounge. Good group of people that hang out here, and we always have a good time.
What time you guys open? What time you guys close?
We close when we feel like it. Usually we're open till at least 11 o'clock.
Okay.
During the week we open at 2. Fridays and Saturdays we open at 11. But we're usually here till at least 11. Fridays and Saturdays at midnight. No on the website, not yet. We're doing everything through Instagram right now. Working on the website and eventually get more into that. But everything we have pretty much goes through Instagram right now, and just have to hit me up and we'll see if we still have it. That's the problem. Since we deal with so much limited and small stuff, it's kind of hard to do a website because it just sells out so fast.
Yeah, and then you don't, know, production wise, you don't know if you have the resources to keep it coming and different things of that nature. So,
yep.
Well, man, one thing we do on the virtual smoke deck, man, we drop a gem. It does not matter if it's about cigars, about business, about personal life. A gem that is on your heart that you can use to either empower people or motivate people or whatever the case may be. Whatever your gem is, shoot it for us.
That is not in my wheelhouse.
That is not in my wheelhouse. I need it to be tonight.
No, man, I got nothing. Just I don't know. I think I'm just too laid back of a person. It's just be chill.
There you go.
Smoke a cigar, relax, and don't fuck up other people's shit. I guess that's it. Don't fuck up other people's shit. That's what that's my motto if I'm gonna have one.
And right now in this segment of cancel culture and all that, man, people are all about fucking up people's stuff, man, and just staying steadfast on what you believe in. I operate one of the largest online platforms out, and man, we just had a thing, man, that just kind of was sweeping our freaking, bringing a group down in a negative way, and everybody wanted to post gun pictures into a cigar lounge. I mean, a cigar group, and it was like, I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like, we getting people that love to post it, and Second Amendment, all that stuff. Then you got people that's like, man, I joined a cigar group, not a gun collector's item.
I don't care one way or another about guns people have, and that's fine. I've never understood the photos of a gun and a cigar, and I've never understood the photo of a cigar and a knife. What do they have to do with each other? But I mean, like,
did you use it to cut off the cap or shoot off the cap?
I just find those fun. I mean, I guess they're hobbies and they all go together. So I kind of, maybe that's it. But I always found that somewhat amusing. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Seeing a picture of a gun and a cigar doesn't bother me. It really shouldn't bother anybody.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because a picture of a gun isn't going to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Again, that's what I say, man. Just let people do what they want to do, as long as they're not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the guy who took a picture of his gun and his cigar is probably a law-abiding citizen, and that gun is probably registered, and he's allowed to have it.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably done under the safest conditions. I don't think there are many criminals out there posting pictures of their guns and their cigars. But man, yeah, people say things. I say things all the time that are gonna offend somebody. If you're offended, oh well, man. There's so much other shit to deal with than whether or not I offend you with some statement or I take a picture of a cigar and a gun.
Yeah.
And if those things bother you, then your life is pretty good. If you have time to get pissed off at that shit, you're doing pretty good. You're doing better than me.
Yeah.
'Cause I got too many other problems to deal with and worry about that.
Bro, I tell them all the time, man, like, I do not have time to be babysitting you guys. Like,
Exactly.
I just don't have the time.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you are, Jason. Of course you are. So anyway, man, Pete, thank you so much for your time, man. I definitely appreciate you. I know you got a lounge full of people to get into, and I'm about to go attend to mine, man. So I appreciate you jumping on this segment, man.
Thank you.
And I continue to pray for your success. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out, bro.
I definitely will. Thank you so much, and hopefully we can do it again sometime. And
oh man, most definitely
have a little bit more fun. All right,
absolutely. All right, champ. Have a good one. One thing I love about the virtual smoke deck, man, and I come on here every freaking week, and I say the same thing, but I mean it, man. You can meet so many different people when you just open up your mouth and have a conversation. When you're willing to sit back and talk to people, and just do great things, man. I think that is the first and foremost one of the most important things, man. Next week, let's see who we got next week on the show. We have Fazad from a humidification company. It's going to be great, man. We're diving into humidification. I know a lot of people have different thoughts about how to season humidors, you know, how to maintain cigars and different things of that nature. Well, next week is going to be the time to jump on, man. Fazad is going to be on, man. It's going to be a great show. For anybody that's new to the channel and, you know, watched with us, man, go ahead and hit that follow button on the Virtual Smoke That Live on Facebook, man. Make sure you go to Instagram and Facebook and follow our page, like us, subscribe, and follow us on IG as well. If you're watching from YouTube, go to Jack the Cigar Enthusiast, hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell, and give us a huge thumbs up. And if you're looking for your cigar needs, if you were looking for cigars and have your needs and wants, man, go check us out at DapperDCigars.com for some great cigars, man. I appreciate you guys. If you're ever in the area or in Jacksonville, come check us out. 725 Cigar March Drive, Jacksonville, Florida 32218. I'm Jack the Cigar Enthusiast. Until next week, I'll see you soon. Peace.